is the PlayStation 5 Pro worth it? I feel like that's been a question that's been put out there. Numerous videos, numerous analyses of the PlayStation 5 Pro console, and it's been a very, very interesting time with this console. So there's been tons of PlayStation 5 versus PlayStation 5 Pro. There's been PlayStation 5 Pro versus the PC, and overall, I feel like no one has really been able to come up with a real conclusion. And I think the reason for that is because people are sort of missing the mark on exactly what the PS5 Pro is intended to be and what the PS5 Pro really has to offer. Now, at the end of the day, this really is an enthusiast console. It is the best way to enjoy console gaming. I don't think the point of the PlayStation 5 Pro is to make the PlayStation 5 feel obsolete. And I don't think the PlayStation 5 Pro is there to directly compete with a PC. I think that if you want a PC and you want the PC experience and you want to play your games on the PC, which are going to run superior, that's fine. The PC has its space and it has its role. I think the PlayStation 5 Pro is just there to make the console experience as close as possible to the PC experience. So at the end of the day, it's the best way to play console games. Me personally, I don't want to build a PC. I've never really been into building a PC. I don't want to sit and play on a desk with a mouse and keyboard. Yes, there's a lot of advantages to it. There's a lot of fun things about building a PC. I'm not saying that if you like to build a PC that anything is wrong with you, but at the end of the day, this is made for console gamers. I have a busy life. And when I do like to enjoy my entertainment, instead of watching a movie, instead of watching a TV show on Netflix, I like to play video games because they are an interactive media. So for me, it's more mentally engaging when I'm actually in control of the main character, in control of the narrative, and am able to actually directly involve myself with the story that's going on. And in order for me to enjoy that, and the way that I've always enjoyed that since I was a kid, was via the console experience, via a controller sitting on the couch. And so that's why I'm very much into consoles. So when this console got announced, I was very happy to pre order it. I pre ordered it, and overall, I have enjoyed the experience so far. Now, that's not to say that everything is perfect with the PlayStation 5 Pro. The price does bother me. I feel like the price is a little high, and especially in the console market, it's a very high price. The main issue that I have with it is that it didn't include a disc drive. For me, that's a necessity. I'm into physical games, I'm into supporting physical games. I understand the appeal of having things digitally, but I enjoy the physical aspect of gaming more. So for me, when I was going to pick up this console, I knew that I had to get a disc drive. So when I pre ordered the console, I actually ended up picking up a disc drive early because I had a feeling that it was probably going to be sold out. And if I have the console, I literally only have one digital game, and that's the original Spider-Man that was remastered because it came with it. It came with Miles Morales when you first picked up the PS5 when that was first released. So for me to really enjoy this console, I knew that I definitely needed to have a disc drive. Now the other sore point was that it didn't include a stand. If you have a disc drive, you really don't need a stand. The console can stand up just on its own. I understand it's silly that you pay this much money. It's a pro console, but does not include these accessories. The stand costs about $30, and then the actual disc drive costs almost $80. At this point, just you might as well just pay the $80 and get the disc drive, and then with that, it also adds stability to the console. So I'd rather pay $80 and just get a disc drive because you can do so much more with a disc drive instead of just paying $30 for the stand. So at the end of the day, stand is not the end of it's not the end of the world, but having the disc drive, that was major. But once you swallow that, then you kind of understand that this is really just an enthusiast console, and it's not there to make the PS5 obsolete. This is not to be compared directly to the PlayStation 5. Although that sounds crazy because it's a PS5 and this is a PS5 Pro, it sounds crazy not to be able to compare it to the old console. And I think one of the reasons for that is because the PS4 Pro, which I also picked up when it first came out, I'm into these uh, refreshes because I like the best experience that you can get with a console. At that time, 4K gaming, HDR, all this stuff was really new. And I remember doing a lot of research and picking up a 4K HDR TV, and then the games looked fantastic, and that was a big leap compared to the base PS4. This time around, much different. The TV that I have is a Samsung QLED. I have a review on it on this channel. You can check it out. But it's a Samsung QLED, HDR, 120 hertz. So I have the hardware, I have the display to really take advantage of the PS5 Pro. So if you don't have that prerequisite, I don't think it's worth picking up the PS5 Pro because you're not going to really be able to appreciate it. Now, secondly, the second thing I really like about the PS5 Pro is going to be the fact that it has 2 terabytes of storage. Now, if you were to pick up a base PS5, it's going to cost you nearly $500. Uh, I think it might be 450 right now on sale, but otherwise it's nearly $500. At that point, if you want to pick up a 2 terabyte hard drive, because 1 terabyte, honestly, with modern gaming, is just not sufficient. So if you pick up 2 terabyte hard drive, that's going to cost you another 100 and change. So at that point, the difference in price between a PS5, PS5 Pro is about $200, and you're going to drop 100 and change just to upgrade your storage. Then you got to make sure you get the right kind of SSD that's compatible with the PS5 and nothing gets corrupted. You might as well just have Sony um, put the right type of SSD into the console. And so then you might as well pick up a PS5 Pro. But obviously, that's for people who may not have a PS5. If you're going to sell your PS5 or if you're going to use some trade credit, for me, I had some trade credit. I had sold a bunch of things before in the past. I kind of kept the trade credit, sort of waiting to see if there was going to be any worth it upgrade type of hardware, whether it was going to be the new Nintendo or if it was going to be something like the PS5 Pro. I sort of kept that. So for me, the PS5 Pro ended up costing me about 400 and change. If you're in a situation like that, then I think it's 100% worth it. You don't have to even think about it. It comes with other technology within it. It has its own PSSR, it's called AI upscaling. PC's been doing that for a long time. This is cool. The consoles have that. It overall has a better or faster GPU. So all these things matter. How much do they matter? Yeah, of course, it's incremental. It's not anything major, but regardless, it's giving you the best experience. It's bringing console gaming closer to PC gaming, which we know is superior, right? So it's bridging the gap a bit. And also, the other thing about this console is that a lot of the games that we're all playing and testing on it are all old games. And yeah, for me, when I played Spider-Man 2, it looked fantastic. Silent Hill 2, it says it's PS4, PS5 Pro enhanced, but I don't really see any options for it really. Spider-Man 2 did look better to me. There's all kinds of different modes. There's a performance pro mode and there's a extremely high fidelity mode which brings you back to 30 frames per second. And the game definitely looked better. But remember, these are all games that are like being retrofitted with the new console in mind. The reason to pick up a PS5 Pro is for those experiences and those games that are going to be built from the ground up with PS5 Pro in mind. So the new Assassin's Creed, the new Ghost of Yote, or the sequel to Ghost of Tsushima, uh, Metal Gear Solid Delta. I feel like these games, Death Stranding 2, these are the games that I feel like are going to be built with PS5 Pro in mind, and because of that, it's going to be worthwhile, I think, in my opinion, to have something like the PS5 Pro. GTA 6. GTA 6, there's no way that GTA 6 is not going to be built with the PS5 Pro in mind, and there's no way that that extra horsepower isn't going to be helpful for a game like GTA 6. So those are the aspects of the PS5 Pro that really excite me. And overall, I feel like the narrative just is it's becoming too twisted online where it's PC versus PS5 Pro and PS5 versus PS5 Pro, when at the end of the day, PS5 Pro is sort of its own entity and it's sort of there for people who are genuinely really into console gaming and all they want to do is they want to just have a way to bridge the gap. Yes, do I wish it came with a disk drive? Absolutely. I think not coming with the disk drive was foolish on Sony's part, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. We have to kind of suck it up if that's what you want to do. Otherwise, the PlayStation 5 is absolutely perfect. I think it's a fantastic console, and it's honestly such a fantastic console that Sony didn't even make any new UI changes for the PS5 Pro. So literally, it's the experience, the user experience in your hand is just like the PlayStation 5. And although that sucks when you're spending the money and you kind of want it to feel a little different, it just goes to show you that the PlayStation 5 is just such a solid console to begin with. So those are really my thoughts on the PS5 Pro. And overall, I'm enjoying it. Like I said, I have a busy life. And so when I do want to sit and relax, I do want to game on the couch. I don't want to sit on the desk with a keyboard and a mouse. I enjoy, like I have for the majority of my life, sitting on a couch, sitting on a comfortable chair, using the controller, not getting distracted, don't have access to other apps or whatever. I just want to play the games the best that I can. And the PlayStation 5 Pro essentially allows for that. So those are my thoughts. Interested to see what you think. Let me know down below.